Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to Soul Good. I'm Amber Marie, and this is your November 2022 Tarotscope. If you're curious about the decks that I'm using today, you can find a list of them in the description box below. You can also find links to my social media accounts, as well as links to information on personal readings and the Soul Good membership channel on Telegram. I would like to remind you that this is a general reading, not a personal reading, so please only take what resonates with you and leave the rest. I would also like to say that there will be a timestamp in the description box so that you can skip through the shuffling if you choose to do so. I would like to also apologize for my absence for the month of October. You guys, I was dealing with a lot of my own healing, and to be quite honest, I really just didn't have any other capacity to be able to take on anything else. That being said, I am going to make up for it by time traveling back to October, taking a look at what you may have learned or healed, looking at how you may have grown from those things as well, right? And then coming back into November to see what's coming for you this month, how it might help you moving forward, and getting guidance for you moving forward as well. So let's jump in, Capricorn, and see what has been going on with you. Please, Father, Mother, Life, Universe, Spirits, Guides, Angels, our cosmic team, our ancestors, our higher selves, what did Capricorn learn or heal in October 2022, please? What did Capricorn learn or heal in the month of October 2022? For some of you, I'm just going to pause because for some of you, I feel like you had things come in October, and I feel like you may have been resistant to those things, right? There may have been lessons for you to learn, or wounds or traumas or things like this that needed to be healed. And I feel like some of you were just not wanting to see them, okay? I just feel like I need to share that because even in the cards, the energy is resistant, right? They're not flying out. So that tells me that there's something blocking, right? There's some sort of blockage there. So let's see. What did Capricorn, we'll take that face down one there, Capricorn learn or heal from in October 2022? Now, I don't know if you paid attention, Capricorn, but now that I've brought this out, brought it to your attention, the card has come out now, right? So that's how the energy works for me, right? And I feel like, yep, okay, yep, that one there. Yes, okay, there's at least one more in here I'm getting. What did Capricorn learn or heal from in October 2022, please? Right, so for some of you, when you watch this, right, these may be things that you could have learned from or could have healed, but maybe didn't, okay? For others of you, I do feel, thank you. I do feel like October could have been a bit of a scattered month for you. You may have felt all over the place. You may have felt like you were struggling to focus on any one given thing, right? Whether that's in your physical world or in your spirituality, right? Your growth, your emotions, right? I just feel like there's a lot of things that were happening, and potentially a lot of, what is the word that I'm getting? Kind of like things going on in your mind, right? Like I feel like your mind could have been in a lot of different places. So how have you grown from what you've learned or healed in October, please? How has Capricorn grown with what they've learned or healed in October 2022? Yes, okay. Oh. Well, clearly you could have learned a lot of things. Thank you. That's so funny. What's come in for you for November 2022, Capricorn? What's come in for Capricorn for November 2022, please? I'm feeling like some of you may have found yourself quite tired through the month of October and even into November. Thank you. I'm getting actually kind of this energy of like burnout almost, right? For some of you, you may have started to feel just like over everything, right? How has what's come in for November 2022? How will this help Capricorn moving forward? How will what's come in for November 2022, thank you, help Capricorn moving forward, please? Yes, okay, I am getting that there are more here. Thank you. How would you like me? Yep, okay. All right, and can we please have some guidance for Capricorn for November and beyond? Thank you. Look at that, guidance came out so quick. I do feel like there are more in here as well. Guidance for Capricorn for November and beyond, please. Guidance for Capricorn. There it is. Thank you. All right, let me just get your cards all sorted here, Capricorn, and then we will jump right in. Okay, so October 2022 for you, Capricorn. The thorn, protection, boundaries, clear communication. So interestingly, right, I mentioned to you guys that I felt like there was this blocking type of energy. Notice the picture on the card here, right? There are thorns surrounding this flower and this woman, right? So again, I do feel like the month of October for you, you likely had some I don't even want to say boundaries, because I don't feel like it's boundaries, Capricorn. I don't feel like, I mean, sure, there may have been some situations or people where you did need to establish better boundaries, but I don't feel like this is boundaries in the sense of I'm putting these up because I have to, right? It feels more to me like putting up a wall, like intentionally separating yourself from other people. Now, whether that's withholding communication, how you truly feel, things you might really want to say, or if that is simply because you feel for some reason that you need to protect yourself, and so therefore you've put up these boundaries thinking that may help you to protect yourself, right? I feel like it's this fearful kind of energy, Capricorn, right? And this may not apply to everyone, right? You may not all resonate with this, but I definitely feel like there is an element here of separating yourself intentionally from people. For some of you, this could simply be because maybe you had a new idea, or you were bringing or trying to bring something into fruition, and so you felt like you needed to keep it to yourself, essentially like nurturing a seed, as it were, right? And weren't maybe ready to communicate about it. But for a majority of you, I'm really picking up this energy of having these walls up, right? And I do want to lovingly say that there is also a possibility that you were experiencing your own shit, right? Your own healing, your own things that you needed to process, that you needed to be able to sort through without external noise or disruption. And so you may have intentionally shut off the world in that way, okay, for some of you. But I do feel like there is an intentional separation that took place through the month of October. Okay, and I feel like many of you may resonate with that, because I just keep getting this image, right, of a wall. It keeps coming in over and over and over again. Okay. Okay, Capricorn, so do forgive me, but it is incredibly dry in my home right now, so I'm going to take a drink real quick. I do apologize for the interruption, though, and appreciate your patience and understanding. And I don't even know. I have like this black line on my nails that's driving me crazy now. Okay, we're just going to keep going. So October could, yes, there it is, right? That this energy of feeling burnt out, right? Okay, so for some of you, again, you may have intentionally withdrawn, right? Because I was picking up this energy of feeling, you know, kind of burnt out, kind of really tired. Some of you, I feel, may have gotten a message previously, whether this is through your own intuition, through another reading, or some sort of, you know, maybe a doctor even said as much, or a friend or something. something somewhere, I feel you may have gotten a message of you need to chill out. You need to take some time off. You need to, get right with you, right? Maybe take care of your health. Maybe take care of, whether that be physical or mental, by the way. Or, just give back to yourself, because I feel like some of you have been dumping from a cup that's been empty for a fucking while. I'm just saying. And I want to lovingly say that giving back to yourself and taking care of yourself isn't just about like going to the gym or eating healthy or, getting sleep, right? It's also about dealing with your own shit, right? Giving back to yourself in the sense of there are things that I'm carrying that I should not be carrying, right? Things that are burdensome, that are heavy, that are limiting me, right? So, I feel like for many of you, for one, you've probably been carrying some things around or were prior to October, depending on whether or not you address these things that you've been carrying for a very long time, right? Um, and I want to lovingly say, like, it is not sustainable to your overall well-being to carry traumas, programmings, woundings, things you need to forgive or heal from, right? Whether that has to do with situations or people or experiences, however it is for you, right? But either way, I feel like many of you have been carrying things that you should have put down a long fucking time ago or remedied in some way, shape, or form a long time ago. And I feel like some of you have been like, I'm going to be real, sweeping the responsibility that you have to certain situations or to yourself under the rug. And now it feels to me like come October, you may have been tripping over the fucking rug because there's been so much shit underneath there, right? And so, it feels to me like for some of you, you may have actually experienced, some sort of illness or disease or, where you were kind of forced to slow the fuck down, right? Which was not God punishing you in any way, shape, or form, right? It's more about God giving you the opportunity to think about shit, to hear that intuition speaking through you, that connection that you have with Source trying to tell you what it is that you need to be looking at, addressing, handling, healing, dealing with, taking responsibility for, right? That will not probably apply to everyone. And I want to just, use this opportunity to say, I am not a doctor. I cannot and do not give medical advice. Okay. But I'm just saying, we hold energy in our body. And if it's a lower vibrational frequency and we're not clearing that out, it can manifest physically in our bodies as illness or dis-ease. Again, not a doctor, just a girl on YouTube. But, I feel like, again, some of you have been pouring from this empty cup, and through the month of October, you were given the opportunity to tend to yourself, to tend to your mind, to tend to your energetic vibration, the energy you've been holding, to give back to you, to find your joy, right? For some of you, I feel like you've been putting effort into perhaps a place of employment or a relationship or something like that that is not as fulfilling to you as maybe it once was. And so you're just dumping into something that isn't really giving back to you, right? Take it as it resonates with you, but it feels to me like some of you may have gotten this like wake up call in October, like, hey, there's some shit you need to be looking at here. Some of you may have had dreams about this or, seen it in meditation or have it shown up in your life repeatedly. So, what I'm saying is like, maybe what you're experiencing but are struggling to recognize, you could have seen show up as a theme in a movie or TV show or song or book or something, right? It could have shown up in your external reality in that way. Maybe you keep seeing repeated posts on social media and you're like, why do I keep seeing this stuff about, maybe, self-care or self-love or being grateful or something like that, right? And I feel like it was God, the universe, trying to show you what it is you've been missing or what it is you've been ignoring, okay? You also have here the grandmothers. Remember your roots, perspective, and trust the weavings, right? And for some of you, if you did choose to take that opportunity to really slow down, to really take a look at yourself, to connect with your higher self and with God, right? I feel like you could have potentially gained a new perspective, right? I feel like some of you may have also been put in situations where it almost feels like you were given no other choice but to just trust, right? Like you just had to kind of surrender to, and you could have even said something like, what will be, right? It's all up to God, where there, or how to, what's meant to find you won't miss you, like that sort of thing. You may have taken that perspective on things because it almost feels to me like for some of you, you had no other option, right? It's like I've done everything that I feel I can do around whatever this is, and now I'm just leaving up to God, right? Like that's all I can do. Okay. And I feel like even though this is a card of like grandmothers and there are physical like manifestations of grandmothers on this card, I feel like this remember the roots part of it is essentially like you are in the world, but you're not of it, right? You are a human being having an experience here on this earth, but you are, when it comes down to it, at the root, in the core of your being, a soul, an eternal soul. And I feel like there's something here about that, again, being in the world but not of it, and trying to bring you back from that, right? Essentially trying to move you a little bit out of that very materialistic type of mindset or physical world type of mindset that, I mean, Capricorn does tend to sit in from time to time. Let's be honest here. Okay, as Capricorn rising, I can attest to that. Like, it's very difficult for me to kind of separate myself from the physical world at times. So, I feel like that's that, remember your roots. And I feel like this could potentially be a new perspective that you've been gaining, right? For others of you, I feel like there's been some healing done around your grandmother or your mother line, um, or a great grandmother or ancestral lineage in some way, shape, or form on the maternal line. There could have been healing done there through the month of October as well. And you could have gained new perspectives on relationships that you have with those individuals, whether they have passed on or are still in this physical world. Okay. So Capricorn, how have you grown from these things that have come in October? We have go the distance, essentially these things take time. Here's the thing. So there's this energy here of, first of all, like it's a marathon, not a sprint. And again, I feel like that's something that you could have learned in the month of October. Again, needing to slow down, pace yourself. Okay. For some, there's also this energy, of growing in the sense of, how do I word this? Like, if you want to be here for the long haul, if you want to have a lengthy life, right, a fulfilling life, it's going to require you to go the distance, right? It's going to require you to look at things from that perspective, from a long haul perspective, not from what's going on right now, right? So essentially, like, not being super attached to the physical world. Because at the end of the day, the long haul, the distance, right, is what you learn and gain via your experiences here that are going to help your soul, right, grow, awaken to new levels of being, understanding, consciousness, right? So, it's interesting because a lot of us have been raised with this programming of like, trying to save money and leave some sort of legacy for generations to come. And while I'm not, I'm not knocking on that perspective, right? I'm not saying that's a bad perspective to have or a negative perspective to have. But if that's all you're focusing on and you're failing to enjoy what you have before you, you're missing the point, right? And so I feel like for some of you, you've grown in learning that, or at the very least, you were given the opportunity to do so. And if you were unaware of it then and you're watching this, you're aware of it now. So if you keep making those choices, you are choosing, right? You are choosing to have the same experience over and over and over again. You are choosing to keep pouring from an empty cup. You are choosing to miss what is right before you. Okay? You also have here happy, happy. So, for some of you, I feel like you, again, you've grown in the sense of you've learned what really does bring you happiness and joy and fulfillment, right? And again, for some of you, I feel like you have started to realize it's not this job that I can't stand, right? This isn't cutting it anymore, right? I don't find fulfillment in this anymore. It's not enough for me anymore, right? So for some of you, I feel like you've grown in the sense that you've learned what really does bring happiness and what is, essentially kind of irrelevant at the end of the day, right? For some of you, I feel like you were given the opportunity to see things from a different perspective, to embrace and embody the gift that is given to you in each moment presently, right? You guys, I don't know if you can hear whatever that sound is, but I do apologize. I do live in an apartment, so, it goes without saying that there's interference or noise interference that's to be expected, but, I just want to apologize if that's really loud. You also have here blessed. Yeah. Capricorn, you can't get any more fucking clear than this. To be honest, like as a reader, right? Because this is literally coming through and saying you have so much available in front of you, right? And if you aren't slowing down to experience what's in front of you, you're going to miss every fucking bit of it. You're going to miss the blessings. You're going to miss the beauty that is before you, right? And a lot of what I've been getting is that energy of like being grateful for what you have in front of you, not what you're working toward and what's going to provide that. Okay? Because if you are, say, working to leave behind a legacy, say for your children, for example, but you're not spending time with your children right now, do you really think like that money is far, 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 far less valuable than your time that you could have been sharing? Because at the root of it, right, that child would have found far more greater benefit in spending time with you, right, than just getting the money when you're gone. Right? And oftentimes people would trade that money for time, right? So I feel like these are things that were shown to you in the month of October, and you could have grown in the way of seeing those blessings in front of you and realizing how truly good you have it right now. Right? And there's an energy of not wasting that moment, like not wasting each moment by looking at each moment that you experience, like this one right here, as a gift, as a blessing. Okay? And I do feel like if you've been seeing repeating twos, It's likely that there's something in this for you, okay? And has been for you. So let's look at November. We have the courageous peony, multifaceted, unique nature. Let yourself be seen. And I feel like for the month of November, right, there's this, or rather, there's been this opportunity for you to truly acknowledge who you are and step fully into that, right? Very courageously. And I'm seeing this as like letting yourself be seen, like on an emotional level, Capricorn. Like it feels to me like there's been this almost this energy of like feeling into things, right? And I'm not saying that you don't have feelings or that you don't express them, right? But it's like genuinely fucking opening up and letting yourself feel the things that you're experiencing, right? From other people, within yourself, within your experiences, right? Just you again, it's essentially like stepping back from that physical world a little bit and stepping more into that feeling world, right? Like you have all of these different facets of yourself. It's not just the physical manifestation of who you are, right? But the impact that you leave on people. Okay? How your energy impacts people. Right? Not how you impact people by the money that you leave behind. Or what you leave behind or what you bring forth physically. Right? But the impact that you leave on other people based on your energetic frequency, based on how they experience you emotionally, right? I feel like you've been given the opportunity to see yourself as a multifaceted being. Now, again, whether or not you have acknowledged this, completely different story, but you have been given the opportunity. And I want to lovingly say, I feel like there could be things that keep showing up over and over and over around expressing yourself, your feelings, and feeling the feelings. I'm getting feeling the feelings as well. Like, Capricorn has a tendency to be insensitive at times. And that's not to say that they don't feel, again, because they definitely fucking do. It's just a matter of expressing that, right? You come off or can come off as insensitive because you hold things inside when it couldn't be further from the truth, right? You do feel things. It's just a matter of allowing others to experience that. Okay. You also have your surrender to the sweetness, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. Again, I feel like some of what came through for you in October is flowing into November, or has flowed into November, right? Where again, life is trying to say there's more to life than this, right? What brings you joy? Like pure fucking joy. True, authentic fucking joy. Right? What for you makes life feel sweet? Is it the people in your life? And if you answered yes, are you spending time with them? Do they know you? This is a conversation that I've had with my own children, Capricorn, right? And I'm just sharing this because this is kind of how the energy is showing up to me, okay? I shared with my kids, it's important for you to know me, to really fucking know me, right? Like, I don't want to just have these surface level conversations with you where it's like, how's your day? Good. Or it's all right. Or it's okay, right? Like, I do these readings and my kids, a lot of times, they're not super interested in it. There are some elements that they become interested in. And when they do, I take advantage, right? But, it's not something that their life revolves around, okay? But still, and even my oldest is kind of like, I don't know what I believe in, which is fine. It's perfectly okay with me, right? But I still share the things because I want them to know who I am. I want them to know how I feel about certain things, right? I want them to experience the way my brain works, the way my mind works, the way my feelings work, the way, I experience a life, right? I want them to know me. Okay? So I feel like this is similar. I feel like you're given the opportunity to really embrace the sweetness that life has to offer, to have, who you are as a person and the things that you enjoy, and sharing them with other people, even if they don't resonate with it wholeheartedly, right? It's still part of who you are. You're still opening up to the opportunity to essentially make love to life. And what is making love to something, right? It's often from, a very physical perspective, but nonetheless, not simply or only physical. When you make love to something, you're intimate with it. Yes? There's a vulnerability there. And so there's this element of like, if you really want to experience true fucking joy, authentic joy, if you want to experience life as sweet, if you want to experience life as if you're making love to it every day, you've got to be willing to fucking open up. Because when you tighten up to life, life tightens up to you, Capricorn. Okay? So there's this opportunity here to be able to experience those things, but you have to be willing to do so. You have to be willing to open up to that sweetness, to allow yourself to experience it, and to be vulnerable enough to experience it on that level. If you're not vulnerable with you, if you don't feel you at a deep level, you don't feel others at a deep level. You're not vulnerable with them. And therefore, you cannot experience life, this external life, at a deep level where it affects you deeply. Right? I'm just saying. Take it as it resonates with you. But notice here how we go from October, where the water is essentially dried up, slim pickings, to if you choose to be happy in the moment, to, appreciate what you have and to open up and be vulnerable, look how much fucking water flows in. Look how much your well is filled. Okay? Just saying, take it, but do what you want. It's your life, man, right? You have here the cosmic heart, devotion, potency. Look at this. Make your life a moving prayer. I do want to read the book for you guys on this part here. I feel like there may be something additional for someone when I read this. But before I do that, right, I want to say that how do I word this? When you're starting out, okay, recognizing this about life, these things that I've shared, okay, you have to stay devoted to it, because you don't automatically wake up and just see all the things that are beautiful about life that you have to be grateful for, right? You don't appreciate that there's still a fucking floor for you to put your feet on when you wake up in the morning. You don't appreciate that first breath you take, or the first visuals that hit your eyes when you open them, right? You don't appreciate that you can actually get up and stand on your feet. These are not things that immediately come into your mind, right? It doesn't work that way. You have to be devoted to choosing to see them every single moment of every single day. And guess what, Capricorn? That requires work, which, I mean, you're no stranger to. And if you choose to be disciplined to it enough, you will wake up in the morning and that first breath you take will have a thank you. When you put your feet on the floor and realize that it's still there, a thank you. Right? And I feel like, again, you've been given this opportunity to see life this way if you choose to. But it is a choice. Okay? So let me open the book up here So I can read to you what goes along with this card from the author. So it says here, flowers don't open and close according to who walks by. They embrace all of what they are and show it to the world around them. The peony doesn't try to compete with the oh wait, excuse me, I'm reading actually the one for this card. That's interesting. So I'm just going to pause quickly because I didn't even realize that that's what I was doing. I could have swore I was on the right page. So I'm going to go ahead and read this now because I feel like I have to. And then we'll come back to that Cosmic Heart card. I apologize. Okay, so starting again, flowers don't open and close according to who walks by. They embrace all of what they are and show it to the world around them. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? The peony doesn't try to compete with the cherry blossom, and the cherry blossom doesn't try to compete with the tulip. They own what they are and trust the timing of their true nature. You're being called to do the same. It's time to open yourself up to being seen. Time to share your incredible, multifaceted true nature with the world around you. To uncover and reveal your soul's greatest gifts without wavering. To own your uniqueness without apology. There's a flower on this planet that holds the same qualities that your soul is readying itself to express. Let it inform you. You may have been taught that it's safer to keep your light hidden and your voice small, to hide behind the bushes instead of growing tall. The courageous peony is here to remind you that it's safe to embody all of who you truly are. It's safe to share your voice and let yourself be seen. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, and you may be afraid of what others think. But with each passing day, it does become easier. Little by little, you realize that it draws in those who are meant for you, and experiences you've been longing for arrive at your feet. How are you being called to allow yourself to be more visible and seen in the world, right? Very much like I was saying, letting down your guard, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, to be able to experience the world from a very different perspective. Okay, now back to this Cosmic Heart. Actually, I'm going to take a drink of water just really quick, you guys. Okay. When you surrender to a state of devotion, you find yourself flowing with all of life. You're being called to refocus your attention deep within, to the intelligence of your own heart, to bow with deep reverence to your inner temple, to live your life in devotion to this place, to make your life one big moving prayer. Perhaps you felt a bit off kilter lately, sensing that the potency of why you're doing things has gotten a little watered down or weak. Perhaps you've forgotten what made you start doing them in the first place. If so, this is your call to take a moment and reconnect with the truth at the very center of your heart, to get back to the essence of what you're about, to devote your life to what you care most about, to turn your gaze deep, 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 deep. So I'm getting some burpee fear energy, Capricorn, and I feel like it's because there's a fear for you, I feel, to dive deep within you. And therefore, there's a fear of letting others do the same. There are seasons for harvesting and seasons for sowing. Right now, you're being called to plant your soul's seeds and sing to them with deep devotion, to feed them with the sweet waters of your own soul, to lose yourself in the potency of what it is that most expands your heart, to live your life according to what makes you come alive rather than what everyone else thinks, to make your life one big moving prayer. Okay? So again, right, you're being given this opportunity, Capricorn, to experience life in a very different way. I'm just going to go ahead and move these up a bit so that we have room for the other cards that are still remaining. Okay, but I still want to make sure that you can still see them. So yeah, I mean, I feel like November, right, has really brought in this beautiful opportunity for growth for you in the sense of being able to experience life in a completely different way. And I really hope that you've taken that opportunity. So how will these things help you moving forward? Well, it's going to make things move a lot faster. First of all, life will probably feel like it picks up pace. This is often my like Harry Potter card, you guys. Okay. If you see, there's all these wands, and for some reason, I'm always reminded of that, right? So I feel like if you allowed yourself to do these things, it could help you moving forward by essentially helping things to just kind of appear as if by magic, or things to happen as if by magic, right? Because I feel like part of it is just releasing or letting down those boundaries that opens up so many more fucking doors for you. And the wand's energy is, right? It is literally energy, first of all. But second of all, it's passion, it's inspiration, it's ambition, it's willpower, right? So I feel that connection, that free flowing energy, that passion, that drive could essentially come back to life as if by magic, if you allowed yourself to do these things, which could help you moving forward in so many fucking ways, right? It could really make life seem quite incredible. You have the Empress here in reverse. So how else could this help you? Well, the Empress in reverse, Capricorn, is this energy of, I mean, being quite honest, it's this kind of selfish energy. It can be an energy of like excess, right? So like the Empress in reverse can, or in the upright, excuse me, can represent like luxury, right? And it's like in the reverse, it's like taking that to a whole nother fucking level. Like you don't really need all this shit, Capricorn, right? You don't need this physical status, or this rather, you don't need this physical shit to represent your status. Okay. There's also this energy here with the Empress in reverse of smothering things. And here's the thing, Capricorn, it's like you're smothering your own light. Not only that, but you're smothering your relationship with the world and seeing it in this beautiful way, right? Because it's like you become so, when you're focused on the physical world, right, you become so fucking tunnel vision that that's all you can see. And life becomes kind of gray. It kind of loses its color, right? Because those things aren't what your soul needs, and you won't find happiness there, right? It's not going to bring you completion. Okay. So the Empress, I feel, showing up for you in reverse is the sense of, how is this going to help you move forward? Well, hopefully it's going to help you not smother the fuck out of the things that you really want to experience from a soul perspective, right? Physically, your ego may not tell you that. Your ego may tell you, no, I want that house. I want that car. I want that level, that status level, that income, et cetera, et cetera. But from a soul perspective, that's not what makes life beautiful. So hopefully, it will help you moving forward by allowing you to see true beauty in the world and to not smother that out by getting too caught up in the physical, in the selfishness of, wanting to keep you to yourself. I don't want to deal with my own shit, so therefore I'm going to shut everything out. It's selfish, and it's egoic, and it's not beneficial for anyone, you or anyone else, right? It doesn't allow you to share your beautiful creativity and love with the world. Doesn't allow you to shine your light, right? And finally, you have here the Judgment in reverse. So, I feel like this could help you to move forward by helping you to deal with any doubt about who you are, like the transparency, right? Like being able to how do I word this? Like sit comfortably in being transparent, right? I feel like it helps to rid you of any doubt that you may have about yourself, should you allow yourself to open up in this way. I also, and that includes the fears, right? Doubting if people are going to accept you, love you, acknowledge you, understand you, right? Those sorts of things. I also feel like it could help you deal with any self-loathing that you may have, right? Because, when we hold these things about ourselves inside, when we don't deal with our own shit, it tends to eat us alive from the inside out, right? And I feel like this could help you moving forward by helping to rid you of that. There is also this energy here of lack of self-awareness. And I feel like that will, I mean, it goes without saying, but it's going to help you tremendously moving forward if you're able to establish an awareness about yourself, your impact on the world, your impact on the things that surround you, right? People, places, environments. And I also feel like it's going to help you to become more aware of how what you no, how do I word this, please? That reaching that level of awareness is going to help you to better understand, I feel, what truly does like fill you up, what truly does bring you joy, right? Like that understanding of yourself, that awareness of yourself, I feel is going to help you by really showing you what's important in life, and helping you to connect on a much deeper level with those things. Okay. I mean, and I do want to say, you have, out of the 3 tarot cards that you have here, 2 of them are oh my gosh, the word is like totally escaped, major arcana. My gosh, I don't know why that was so hard for me to grasp. I do this on a daily basis. But that they're major arcana, and that signifies tremendous internal growth, or the opportunity to do so. Okay. So you have 2 messages here for guidance for you moving forward through November and beyond, Capricorn. The first one says that you are divine beauty, and there appears to be some sort of goddess type figure with angels flanking either side. Okay. The message here for you is, dear you, the simple yet powerful law of cause and effect means everything. Okay, let me back up. Dear you, the simple yet powerful law of cause and effect means everything is in relationship. Every action on earth has a consequence. And even in the spirit world, there is a consequence for every action taken on your behalf. Right now, you're facing conditions that were set in motion by past decisions. Consequences are coming into being in your favor. They will remind you that making good choices and listening to your intuition pay off. If some things are a little off and uncertain, know that whatever you are facing, you can step beyond it you can step beyond it just by using your imagination and acting on that instead of reacting to what is being presented. Everything you think and do has far-reaching reverberations in the web of life. Move to higher ground and have faith that what goes around comes around. The universe is always self-correcting anyway. Isn't that amazing? How we adore you. So again, like I've been saying repeatedly throughout your reading, Capricorn, what you do and how you are, right? The person that you are, the person you allow the world to see you as, right? The things that you say, think, act, or act upon, all have this ripple effect out into the world. It impacts the people around you, right? And I feel like, again, these are things you're being shown. Now, if you chose to act upon these things that you've been shown and try to move towards this more open way of being, this more vulnerable and intimate way of being, it is likely that you could have things coming back to you where people are opening up to you. You are experiencing the world in a much more different way. But if you've chosen to remain closed and off to those things, that is what you will experience from the external world. Because again, what goes around comes around, right? So I feel like that's just, confirmation for you, or affirmation to say, hey, this is what you need to be working on, or what you need to be mindful of as you move forward. You have live your dreams here with a little Cupid looking figure on the front, and the message here is, dear wonderful you, oh my gosh, you can't make this shit up, Capricorn. I just want to say, this card, even before I read the entirety of it, is God saying, I said what I fucking said. Take it or leave it, completely up to you, right? But intimacy is scary sometimes. It means you have to let someone else get to know the real you, not the perfect, flawless mask you wear for others. No, it's time to reveal the cool one, the passionate one, the imperfect one that is totally you without artifice or walls. Yes, you will be exposed and vulnerable for a time, but it will be so worth it. This is the only way you will know true closeness with others, and you will also be close to spirit and us. There is amazing freedom that comes when you let go and just be yourself with another or a group. Release from the invisible bindings that keep you from intimacy is truly empowering. So may we support you wholeheartedly in this choice. You will you will know yourself better, and we hope learn to love yourself as much as we do. Life is about who we are with others, so share it. You will be so glad you did. Loving you so, so much. So, again, right? Moving forward, there is this beautiful and profound opportunity, Capricorn, for you to, again, experience life in a completely different way than you have previously, with every opportunity to experience true, authentic, pure joy, right? And I think this is amazing. I pray that you take this opportunity. I really, truly do. I've known, a few Capricorns and Capricorn risings, and it's like, if you would just let people close to you, like, why won't you just let people in? Myself included, you guys. And life does become so much more beautiful. You experience life in such a more full way when you allow yourself to dive deeply in it, open and freely, vulnerably. It's so fucking beautiful. So that is what I have for you, Capricorn, for the month of November. I truly hope that something here has resonated with you. If it has, please do the YouTube things by liking, sharing, and or subscribing or commenting down below. It's always welcome as well. It really does help the channel to grow. It tells YouTube, hey, there's something here that someone else may be interested in seeing, and gets it out to more people. So thank you so much for doing that if you choose to do so. As always, Capricorn, it's been a wonderful pleasure to read for you. I love you so much. I'm sending you the biggest of hugs. Please know that whatever you experience, you have absolutely got the power within you to change at any given moment, in time, and to experience life in a completely different way. Know that you've got this. Know that God's got you. I hope you've had an incredible month. Take care of your beautiful, beautiful, unique soul, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.